guys, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. It's been a minute since I've done a review. I've always wanted to say that phrase. I love that phrase. Today I'm here to review Eau de Merveilles by Hermes. Man, there is a lot of silent letters in that sentence. I've smelled this thing so many times over the years, but I've never actually owned it or thought to review it until now. It's still a great long-standing fragrance. I think people are still kind of surprised and intrigued by this one. So I wanted to review it for you to give you my take on what I think it smells like. So this fragrance is an Oriental Woody. It came out in 2004, so a long time ago. But I do feel like it's one of the staple fragrances in Hermes's collection. They've got quite a few flankers of this. They've got an amber one, they've got an elixir one, and the bottles are all just absolutely gorgeous. Eau de Merveilles. It means water of the marvel, or Merveilles translates as marvel, or you know, something magical, I guess. And I'm not sure if this is named after the Vallée de Merveilles, which is the Valley of Marvels in France. Maybe, maybe not. But I think they wanted to create something a little bit mystical. They also wanted to create a sparkling feminine fragrance with 0 florals in it, which makes me think, okay, my ears have pricked up, I'm listening now. Let's see what this is like. The other interesting thing to note about this fragrance is that the note pyramid is upside down. So they've turned this thing on its head, which is really unusual for a fragrance. Paired together with the fact that it's a feminine fragrance with no florals, just not of the norm a little bit. So I'm always going to be interested in something like that. So yeah, I got my 50ml bottle of it and I really like it. It's kind of autumnal, it's sparkly, and I think, I'm not sure it's named after the valley sort of place, but I do think the magic part of it is true, because why would they have put all these little twinkly sparkles on the back of the bottle? I'm not sure if you can see them, but you can only really see them in certain lights. But yeah, the bottle is so cute. It sits like that as opposed to like that. And I've just put fingerprints all over it. Now I'm going to have to clean it. So let me go through the notes with you, and just remember again, they're upside down. So the top notes are vetiver, oak and cedar. Normally you would have woods in a base or sometimes in the heart. The heart note is ambergris, which admittedly I've never really been able to figure out. I know what it is, I know where it comes from, I know the tone it's supposed to give, but I've never smelled it strongly enough in a fragrance to really be able to say, oh yeah, that definitely smells like ambergris. It's supposed to give a kind of salty, I guess light, aquatic kind of feeling to a fragrance, and that is the main heart of this one. The base notes are lemon, orange, elemi, and pink pepper. Now elemi, if you don't know, is a resin, but it's a very light, supposed to be kind of like lemony sort of smelling resin. So lemon, orange, lemony, resinous, and also peppery in the base. This fragrance, I'm just going to say this while I'm spraying, this fragrance is really interesting. I don't think it's of the norm at all, which is probably why I love it so much. I don't like things that are just run of the mill that much. Of course sometimes, but this is really cool. So what does it smell like to me? When I first spray this, I really feel like it smells like somebody has sprinkled white pepper onto oranges. And I know it says pink pepper in the notes, but it feels more like white pepper to me. It's not a kind of nose tingling pepper. It's a slightly more subtle pepper, but it's definitely like peppery oranges. So there's also a very kind of dry woody tone, so it's almost like you're in a forest, kind of like maybe fir or something a little bit piney, but the overall feeling of the fragrance is very dry. All of the notes in here are pretty much dry notes. There's nothing in here giving it tons of weight or any smoothness or anything like that. Even though it has elemi, which is a resin, it's a very light resin, so it feels kind of a little bit Christmassy, and I would say that it's completely unisex. I know it was designed to be marketed for women. I think it's possibly even leaning a little bit more towards the masculine, if I have to say. But I really like it. The overall feeling of this is very dry. It's a dry, peppery citrus fragrance when you first put it on, and it does feel a little bit magical. I don't know, it feels like a walk in a forest, but not like a super evergreen forest, but there's tons of dry wood, dry pepper, and all of this dryness is making the orange also feel a bit dry. I can smell something that feels a little bit kind of salty and again dry. So there is, I guess that's what the ambergris is. That's giving it this heart that's making it feel a little bit oceanic, a little bit aquatic in a strange sort of way. But if water was able to be dry, which would never happen. It feels to me like it has an aromatic quality. I'd even go so far as to say an aromatherapy kind of quality to it. A childhood friend of mine's mum used to be an aromatherapist, and every time I go to her house it used to smell amazing in there. And this kind of takes me back to that a little bit. It feels like it might be like an aromatherapy type of blend, but also aromatic, kind of herbal. I don't know where this herb is coming from, but herbal peppery oranges that are dry. And that's pretty much the description I can give you. Because I find it to be quite a linear fragrance. The only major change that I find with this is that the orange and citrusy stuff goes away, which makes me think that the oranges and lemons and things like that and the bells of St. Clement's aren't really in the base. I don't know, maybe my nose isn't that good to be able to flip a thing on its head and do all of that. But the orange actually kind of fades away as it dries, which makes me think that it would be in the top. Anyway. So this fragrance wears really close to the skin, I think. At first it doesn't. You do have this blast of, whoa, orange peppery dryness, what's going on? But it does, after about an hour, come quite close to the skin, and it's a gentle wafter. It isn't a super projector, but the longevity is quite cool. I just really like it. I just think it's really unusual. It's different. It feels kind of autumnal, maybe even wintry. It smells spicy. It smells like it's got more spices than just pepper in it. But I couldn't pinpoint any because they're not in there. It's kind of like an illusion. Or a Merveilles, shall we say. I'd probably call it more of an aromatic woody than an oriental woody, really. I'm not sure where the oriental part comes from, but yeah, I've pretty much said most of the things that I can say about this fragrance. It's a great one though, and look at this, it's so cool. It's kind of like a little weird orange slice with glitter on it. Bit of magic. Anyway, if you guys want to get this fragrance, go and head on over to notino.co.uk or .com, that's where I got mine from. Also, there's a 1, maybe, or 2 weeks left that they're doing giveaways on. Every Wednesday and every Friday on their Facebook and Instagram, so if you want to get free stuff, go and enter before time runs out. I think there's literally only 1 left, maybe 2. Anyway, I'm out from my logo, click my logo down there, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another review. Goodbye.